Hey guys, is it that time already? I guess it is, December 10th. Welcome into the show. It is Arch City now. We're here Monday through Friday, guys. 6 to 8 a.m. We finish out at 8 a.m. It's all things St. Louis all the time. Good morning, St. Louis. Glad you guys are with us. What's shaking in the Lou this morning? I can tell you what, the weather is supposed to, I went to bed thinking we're supposed to have all these winds. 40 to 50 mile an hour per winds. I guess they haven't arrived yet. Did you have it? Did you see it? I don't know. I haven't seen it out there yet. It's still a mild morning, but it's supposed to be blustery today throughout the area. Don't know how that'll affect the temperatures in your world, but it's supposed to be around 40 today. There was a little bit, a little bit of rain this morning, but no real possibilities for snow in the forecast, anything like we had seen to start this winter out, even though it's not winter, the winter temperatures. So we've got that going on. If you want to jump in the show, X, Facebook, YouTube, you know where to go. You know what to do. And we appreciate that. So Producer Rise here. I'm Vic Faust. X, Facebook, YouTube. You can also call us 855-282-8255. We are your Lou information station. We are live and on demand at louinfo.com. If you guys want to talk about anything particular, let us know. SIUE rebranded to the alternate identity. Did you see they were the 66ers yesterday? They came out. They almost looked like they had the 76, like the Philadelphia 76ers logo. They announced their rebranding to their alternative identity. From being known as the Cougars, they'll be called the 66ers.
And what team is this?
SIUE.
SIUE used to be the 66ers?
No. They were the Cougars.
And now they're
the 60s. They're the 66ers. They're the 66ers.
What?
Yeah. The 66ers.
What does the year 66? Is that where it was like founded or something?
No, Route 66.
Oh, okay.
Around the 100-year anniversary of Route 66.
I didn't even. Okay, that's a nice little logo. I get it because of the highway and the little wheel. That's a nice logo.
You like that logo?
Yeah, it's a fire logo.
It looks cartoonish to me.
It looks super cartoonish, but I like it. I don't think it should be a college's main logo, but it's a fire logo if it's like an AAU team.
Well, this is a college.
Yeah.
You know what? To me, it looks like an NBA logo because it looks like the 76ers.
It does.
I
like the little cougar better, though.
But. I like the cougar as well. I do. You can check that out. We talk a lot of things St. Louis area related, kind of hodgepodge of everything in the mornings here, just getting you up and at it. That's why we love your viewer participation as much as possible. I know it gets tough in the winter months. It's dark 30 outside, but glad you're with us. Did you see this? Oklahoma and Indiana are canceling classes for the Sooners. Well, it's actually not Indiana, Alabama. Alabama and Oklahoma are canceling classes on the day that they play football so that everybody has a chance to go to the game or watch. Now, the game isn't played until 8 p.m. that night.
Oh, wow.
OU Norman campus and Alabama, they're going to suspend normal academic and campus operations for students and staff on Friday, December 19th. So no class. I guess I don't know. So they can go to the games. I don't know. I mean, the game's being played in Oklahoma. So I don't know. That's bizarre to me. Bizarre that they're canceling classes. So it's like, okay, do your thing. Whatever you guys want to do.
Now that I think about it, school's going to be out in a couple weeks, in like a week anyway.
Yeah, but it's that game. It's the day of game.
The day, like.
Oh, you mean.
Yeah.
You know what?
Winter break.
Mizzou's, maybe they still had it. I know Mizzou is on break because my son's a junior there.
Yeah.
They're on break.
That's what I'm saying. I was on break by like the 14th, and I was there till, it's like you stay back for like a whole month for Christmas break. Maybe it's different in the South though, or something.
I can't remember. I spent 3 years in Tulsa as a sports director there, and I covered Oklahoma and Oklahoma State and Tulsa there, but I don't remember the Christmas break. I just remembered the horrible OU football fans. Sorry. I can't generalize an entire football base by about 60% of their fans. They were insufferable. And I will tell you this right now. And I'm not making friends when I say this, but they were not a fun group to cover because they were so indignant and entitled, and we're OU football. And this goes back to right after they'd won a national championship. This goes all the way back, believe it or not. When I covered them, it was right after their national championship from 2001 to 2004. And they were a very, very arrogant fan base. Sorry, they were. You know who was number 2? It was Michigan. The Michigan fan base. I covered those guys too. Not a whole lot of fun, but it was always interesting because Oklahoma State, who didn't have as much success, they were a much kinder fan base. Michigan State, who wasn't known as much as Michigan for being the football successful fan, were a lot easier to deal with too. But man, oh man, those others, they were not a great situation to cover. But anyway, it is what it is. I digress. Okay. It was interesting. Did you see yesterday? And this is why I love podcasts all over the place. Ed Orgeron, he was the former coach at LSU. He was Joe Burrow's head coach at LSU in 2019. Joe left. Ed Orgeron ended up getting fired. Yesterday, he was doing podcast. I think it was one of the Barstool groups. And he was legitimately just sitting there talking about how they used to pay players. Now it's legal. And he literally had a funny quote where he's like, yeah, well, in his New Orleans, Louisiana, Cajun accent. He's like, the only difference now is before we used to have to walk in the back door and give the kids the cash. Now we can just walk in the front door and give it to them. At least admitting what everybody knew about players getting paid, families getting paid, and so forth. Now it's a free-for-all on the cash money side. Very bizarre, all the money that's being thrown out there right now. And, of course, Mizzou, where they sit, trying to get all kinds of cash in so that they can take care of what they've got going on. By the way, we welcome you in to this Wednesday morning show of Arch City Now. Jump in the show. Have some fun with us. We appreciate it. Also, coming up today, the Blues played last night. For whatever reason, they just can't get back to that 500 mark. We'll get into the Blues as they lose to the Bruins last night. Weather will be a situation today, as we talked about, as it starts to get a little bit colder today. St. Louis County Council, they're approving budgetary items slowly but surely, but that's not an easy job when it's $81 million in the hole. And the county council, they showed up for their meeting, but the executive wasn't there. Not quite sure why, but they were tearing apart his plan to use Rams money to pay off debt. In-N-Out Burger. Have you ever heard of In-N-Out Burger, my friend?
Yeah, I like In-N-Out.
No In-N-Outs in the St. Louis area. But they had to remove an item off their menu, and it had something to do with 67. We'll just say that. Oh my gosh, it won't go away. It just won't go away. We'll promote SLU men's soccer with NC State Friday night, semifinal game coming up. Well, the Cardinals, you want to hope that they didn't get unlucky. They were supposed to get a draft pick in the top 10. That's where all the odds were. But somehow, some way, they ended up falling out of the top 10. Bummer, bummer, bummer. You always want to be in the top there. Hey, Dennis Gates, Mizzou football or basketball coach, is in his 4th year at Mizzou. They're not off to a great start when you consider the fact that the only 2 teams that look like they have tournament chances, they got beat by. He's won 1 tournament game in 3 years. He doesn't look like he has a tournament team this year. He gets paid a ton of money. But I think he's getting a free pass by local media and maybe the fan base because of a recruiting class that he allegedly still has signed up to come in next year. Arguably the best player in the 2027 class, one of the top players. His name is Jason Crow Jr. He's out of California. He has now become the all-time leading high school basketball scorer in the state. That is crazy when you consider how many people have played basketball in California for all the decades in high school. And he's coming to Mizzou next year. So there's some hype about that. We'll talk about that. St. Louis City Police Chief Robert Tracy getting a lot of credit from Mayor Kara Spencer. They've approved a new 3-year contract for him. We'll talk about that. And by the way, when you have a police chief that is solid, it can make a whole bunch of difference. I'll talk about what I saw happen in Detroit a long time ago too, which has really helped their city. AP Male Athlete of the Year. It's a professional sports player. We'll get into that. Also, I'm going to break down for you why the Kansas City Chiefs will still make the NFL playoffs. That's right. I was looking at the scheduling. The Chiefs. Maybe I'll send it over to you that I was looking at. I saw it come down, right. But I am calling it right now at 6-7, the Chiefs. I'm calling they're going to make the NFL playoffs, and they're only 6-7.
I wouldn't be surprised, man.
Because they only have to catch one of 2 teams because that's how poor the AFC is this year.
Sucks.
Now in the NFC, you could have teams that are 11 wins, like the Bears or the Lions, not make the playoffs.
Yeah, and the Bears are in first place right now, right? Or
second
now. Oh.
But I can see a scenario in the NFC where the Lions finish 11-6 and don't make the playoffs. 3 years ago, the Lions finished 10-6 and did not make the playoffs.
Yeah.
If you're a Lions fan, you're like, what? Are you kidding me? Because there's so many good teams in the NFC and the AFC completely sucks.
Yeah. It's kind of like the West and the East in the NBA.
Yep. There you go. Great. And nobody believes in the Patriots yet. Come on. They don't. They're a nice little story, but come on. Like, you really think the Patriots going on to win the Super Bowl? No way.
Robert Kraft, man. And Vrabel and Drake May. Maybe. But no, I don't think they've played enough strength of schedule, especially being in that division and being in the AFC. No,
I agree.
Yeah, my bad. But look at the AFC North. They literally have the Steelers at 7-6 and they're ahead.
Yeah. The AFC is just a brutal conference. But I will break this out for you on why, and we'll go through those, why the Chiefs. I think they're going to do it. I think the Chiefs are going to get in the playoffs. So people already put, and the NFL wants the Chiefs in the playoffs. They do. And why is it a bigger story here? Because unfortunately, this area has become the St. Louis Chiefs.
Oh yeah, it has.
This is the St. Louis Chiefs.
It's worse out here, actually.
What do you mean out here?
Like in Kirkwood or in the counties, it's way worse than in the cities.
In the city. I was going to go to St. Charles.
Yeah, like when it's like the county, like or in
go to St. Charles County.
It's so much Kansas City. Like when I remember when I pulled up to the studio and I went to Walmart to grab those like stuff before I came. Like it was like the first time I came. But
came where?
To the studio.
Oh, the other studio, Chesterfield.
Yeah, I went to Chesterfield, and for the first time, I went into like the Walmarts out here, and I saw so much Chiefs gear and people walking around with Chiefs gear. I'm like, what is?
Oh yeah, the Chiefs.
But then I realized it is Sunday too, because I pull up there on Sunday.
That's why.
I'm like, okay, it makes sense a little bit.
So Chiefs fans, don't worry yet. I'm telling you, I broke it down. The fact that the Colts don't have a quarterback is a major, major deal.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
They got a quarterback.
Uh-huh.
Grandpa.
Yeah. He's only being looked at, Phillip Rivers at 44, going on 45, as a practice squad guy, not coming in and actually starting and doing the reps. No, they got a third string guy right now.
Man,
The story media takes stories and runs with them. It's not to actually go out and take starters reps yet.
they really.
If he develops over time, but they got to have somebody, some way, in there from that standpoint. That's how it all happens. That's what goes on.
Okay, at least on news they say that he did sign to the practice squad. I don't really understand that. Is that like?
No, you got to have so many quarterbacks in there.
True.
You got to have guys that can help.
No,
And they're taking the guy that was on the practice squad and moving him up to starter.
Well, yeah, I guess he's a good locker room guy probably too.
No, they need somebody.
Yeah, they need somebody to hand the ball off in practice.
Yeah, because you got to give your defense a look.
Yeah, that's true.
And guess what? You got to have somebody if third string quarterback gets hurt.
You know what? I think that's cool.
Because second string quarterback is Riley Leonard, and he hurt his knee in the game last week when he was replacing Daniel Jones.
So what about they still haven't pulled up Richardson, have they?
No.
Or is he hurt?
No, I think
because I did hear he was on like the
something.
IR.
I think he was hurt, but supposed to be back for the end of the season. I don't know exactly. He's been a total bust.
Yeah, he's still not cleared. He's super young though.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's still not cleared. But
this is the problem with the NFL too, is that a lot of these guys draft athleticism and they don't draft a mind.
Yeah.
You have to be smart enough. You have to be good enough. I mean, you have to have the skills and you have to have and he didn't play a ton of quarterback in his life.
He was so, like, I'm gonna be honest, he was trash. Like, he was absurdly under mid, and I was like, everybody's drafting him because he's built like Lamar Jackson on like worse. Like, he's built crazy, but
Lamar wishes he was built like this dude.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's like
he's like 6'3", 235, ripped, fast.
That's what they were trying to figure out. Like, he could be like a Lamar on like steroids, if I can say that. But like,
yeah, you can say it.
But he can't throw the ball. Like, where was he at? Florida or something?
Yeah, he was at Florida. Super athlete. So anyway, they will be bringing in, as you said. Now that's an unk, 44.
That's super unk.
But that's all they have to do is the Chiefs have to catch them. They're not going to catch the Chargers. Not after the Chargers won the other night. But I'm telling you, I see the Chiefs going in as a wild card. We'll do that when we come back on the other side of the break, because I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. By the way, we're here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. If you guys want to jump in on the show, X, Facebook, YouTube, love it when you guys do. Also, if you guys have story ideas, charities, anything that you guys want to promote, we love to do that as well. Just let us know what's happening in your neck of the woods in the St. Louis area. What's got the meter going for you? What's got you happy? What's got you sad? What's going on? What is there to do? What are you guys doing in the St. Louis area? Like we say, jumping on the show. We like to do that. We like to promote anything and everything we can here. Okay. We talked about the weather today. It's going to start to get colder because, when the wind starts to go, things are not as not as comfortable, but it could be a whole lot worse considering the fact that we are into the second week of December. So we're here till 8 o'clock. And when we come back from the break, we'll talk about the Blues and where they're coming and what's going on for the rest of this week. Also, we take it to 8 o'clock, and then that's when Cam Jansen, the former Blue himself, and Jim the Cat Hayes, Cardinals broadcaster, come in and bring you that information until 10 o'clock. It is a Wednesday, so that means it's the MIZ STL show. Grant Salzman, I believe he has Brendan Schaefer on today from 10 to 11 o'clock. And then it is the Charlie Tune and the Posse show from 11 to 1 this afternoon. Of course, As we always say, we are your Lou information station. We're always live and on demand at louinfo.com for information on all of our shows. You can just go to, excuse me, louinfo.com. Once again, that is louinfo.com. The high school scene is now hit up with basketball. Do you still go check out the high school basketball games at all? Are you still into that, being a huge basketball fan?
I don't really check. I don't. Well, this is my first year really being back during basketball season, so I may check out a few games. I heard Cardinal Ritter's a good team. I'm gonna check out St. Mary's, of course. BT's been posting this one guy, and he's been dunking the mess out of the ball, and I've liked it. I like that Gary guy. Shout out that Gary kid.
From where?
St. Mary's, about 6'4", 6'5", really slim, athletic guy, just runs and dunks. But yeah, I'll check out some games.
I was just curious because you have high school basketball starting up. It was an interesting story too yesterday. How much the time we got there? Villa Duchesne, they had to let out school yesterday early because so many kids got sick.
Is that like the all girls school?
Yeah.
Or is that
private Catholic?
Another Duchesne that's like
Villa Duchesne.
Okay. Yeah.
You're thinking of Duchesne over in St. Charles County.
Yeah. Okay.
So many kids got sick, they had to cancel school, but they went in and tested. We'll get into that story too. And there was no gases or anything else. It's just a lot of kids got sick. They don't know what happened. Like all these girls, it's all girls school, terrific school. They just got sick. So they had to cancel school. I haven't heard of that happening in a while when they didn't know what was going on. I mean, going back to the COVID days. And then I think there was a school in St. Charles County 2 years ago. They had so many sickness cases that they canceled school. But I hadn't seen anything like that in a while. And I was like, dang. But interestingly enough, that happened. So curious what that could have been. But we'll break that down too when we come back from the break. So we will take a quick break. We're off and running on this Wednesday morning. Happy Hump Day, December 10th. The year of 2025 is going by super darn fast. Just think about this. In 14 days, it's Christmas Eve. Let that sink in.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, in 14 days, it's Christmas Eve.
I feel like November just ended, and now it's already middle of December.
I know. There you go.
Life moves fast.
All right. This is Art City Now. That's producer Ryan, Vic Faust. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with more. We are your Lou information station. We are live and on demand at louinfo.com. Gee, are we doing a show this morning? Yes, we are. We are back. This is Art sitting out and Vic Faust, producer Ryan alongside as well. If you want to jump in on the phone lines, you can. The phone number to do that is 855-282-8255. We are your Lou Information Station. We are live and on demand at louinfo.com. It's not cold outside this morning as you get up and out and about. However, it is going to be windy, or so I am told. That will make it a little bit more blustery for anybody that's out and about doing whatever they're doing today. So just be prepared. Temperature's not really cold. 43, I guess, right now. We were on our way down. That temperature's not going back up. We've already reached our high for the day. But with the wind, it feels like it's 28. So that's where it comes in. There is a wind advisory that is going on today that's supposed to last till about 12 p.m. And that's what you have, a bunch of wind gusts, 30, 40 miles per hour. I don't know if you have that outside yet or not, but 28 is what it feels like, even though the temperature gauge will say 43. And that's kind of where we are for the rest of the week. So anyway, enjoy the day. We're here getting those things done for you. We're here till 8 o'clock. All things St. Louis all the time. Let's talk. Let's get things going on. You can jump in on X, Facebook, and YouTube. We appreciate it. Any interviews that you want done, let us know. Any topics you want to talk about. Shout outs to any groups, things from that standpoint. That's what we do as well. Glad you're with us. Hot Take Central 2.0 follows us as well from 8 to 10 o'clock today. All right, last night, the Blues had a chance. They had a chance to win 3 straight for the first time this season. They had a chance to get back to the 500 mark for the first time. And it didn't happen. So they lose to Boston again. And you're like, oh, man, really? Just when they get so close, they seem so far away. They actually jumped out to a quick lead, too. Power play goal, Robert Thomas. He looked good. He had 2 goals last night. That was fun. Good watching Robert. However, after that, you saw the Bruins come back and start to pepper Joe Hofer with shots, and it did not work out so well after that. So the Blues have played 31 games. Instead of being 12-12, they're now 11-13-7, good for 29 points. They're still at the bottom of their division, but everything is so tight. I mean, it's so tight. And that's the good thing when it comes, because it's still early. Yeah, I know they've played 31 games, but all it takes is a 3-game win streak. Just like that, you're right back in the thick of things. Can they do it? Yeah. Are they capable of it? 100% they are. But last night was not one of those nights where you could feel really good about the way that they play. Just didn't happen. I mean, Hofer made some good saves, but he's also, the defense just, I don't know, it wasn't there. Just the kick wasn't there. And they were just outplayed by a Boston team that looked better. Boston is 18-13. They haven't played any overtime games, which is insane to me. 18-13. That's good for 36 points. Okay. The Blues, not too far back, the Blues have 29 points. So they're only 7 points back, playing the same amount of games. I say only 7 at this point in time. I know that's 3 wins, but you look at the record, the Blues 11-13-7, and Boston was 18-13. Boston's in second place in the Eastern Conference's Atlantic Division. You know, they're right up there. And they hadn't played one overtime game. Unfortunately, they've now beaten the Blues a couple times. So it's like, all right, we got to see what the Blues can get done now. They came home for a quick game. Now they go to Nashville on Thursday. And Nashville is the one team that's below them in their own division. And it's interesting because Nashville beat Colorado last night, who is really good. They beat Colorado 4-3, and that was kind of a stunner. Now they host the Blues. The Blues need to go on the road and pick up a win. By the way, St. Louis comes back to town for Friday night against the Blackhawks. And if you haven't looked, by the way, the Blackhawks, who had been so bad for so long, they've had a bit of a resurgence. The young Blackhawks, they're 12, 11, and 6. They have one more point than the Blues. Yeah, and they've played 2 less games. So, Connor Bedard, he is a terrific player. They play Friday night at the Enterprise Center. So the Blues will get back to action there. When it came to last night's game, it's like, wait a second. We know that this team has to be better. They'd been playing. They came off of 2 really good games on the road against 2 good teams. So you're like, okay, of course this is going to work out. This is going to be really, really good. And then it doesn't. And you're like, wait a second. What the hell just happened? Why did this happen? How did the Blues end up losing this game? They've been one of those teams that's very difficult to figure out, especially when you consider they go on the road, they win 2, they come back home, and you think they're going to win, and then nope, not going to happen. It's like, okay, all right, we'll see what happens. So they got jumped out to a 1-goal lead last night, gave up 2 goals in the second period. They were down 2-1. And then the third period just did not work out very well. Just didn't. Goaltending's been one of the interesting things with this team. They gave up an empty netter, so Hofer made 26 saves on 30 shots. So I'm sure we're going to see Bennington, or at least I would think we're going to see Bennington Thursday at Nashville when it comes to the team. But, like I said, 11, 13, and 7, you'd like to see the Blues get at least back to that 500 mark and then kind of work from there. So we'll see. Know that they could be better. And, of course, that's what we're hoping to see when it comes to what they have going on. But 5-2 was the final. Nashville Thursday, come back home Friday for a skate with the Blackhawks. And there you have it. Okay. Headlines, news going on from the area. This was a story. I was talking about it in the break before, but I know we're in the winter time, and I know that there'd been some, you hear somebody gets a flu or somebody gets, there's a new virus out. And then, you start to wonder and worry. But Villa Duchesne out in Frontenac yesterday, they had to close school because several students, quote, experienced symptoms of illness. They were during mass Monday morning. So they closed the buildings, brought in professional companies to test to see what was going on. They took the situation very seriously, as these schools do. Now, the school didn't say or disclose the nature of the illness, which prompted the closure of exactly how many students showed signs of a sickness. But they had the Frontenac Fire Department, St. Louis County Hazardous Materials Response Team came in. So they did extensive testing on the school's buildings, but all the results came back normal. So it's like, what happened? The school also did not note whether it was going to be back in school today or not. I thought they were coming back to school today. But you have to have a lot of kids get sick. I mean, a lot of kids get sick. A lot of young ladies get sick to close school. But at least the good thing with that situation was the fact that they were able to close quickly. There was no hazardous gases or anything from that standpoint in the area. It was just some sort of virus is what I guess they're alleging was happening. So anyway, they closed. Students went home around 1:15, and then just trying to take care of the situations that go over there. But anyway, it's a St. Louis area story. I hadn't seen anything like that going back till the COVID days. And you were in high school during the COVID days. That wasn't that too long for you, was it?
No, I was high school for like a year and a half. I had regular high school until my junior year, and I still had regular high school just with mass because St. Mary's made us go to school like 3 to 4 days out the week. So
you didn't have to do the remote learning?
No, I only did remote learning on Wednesdays.
Okay.
At St. Mary's.
Oh, so that they just had 1 day a week?
Yeah, because the school was so small that we could just social distance there. Like,
Isn't that crazy? Just thinking back to social.
like, no, I like. I'm gonna be honest. I liked having a mask. I didn't like the COVID thing at all. I would never wish COVID
Wait a
to
minute.
ever
What
come
did
back.
you just say you liked?
But I liked wearing a mask. Yeah, I could see
Why?
because I didn't have to show my face, and I could like focus on my like facial hygiene without like people knowing.
You didn't like to show your face?
Yeah, I didn't like when I would be on campus. Like for the first year, we had to wear masks.
Everybody's different. That's one thing I've
Remember,
learned.
like, I don't know if you remember, but when I went to college, like, what was it, 2021, 2022, there was a COVID outbreak again. And right after because there's this thing called Drake Relays. It's like a track event and it's super popular. Olympians come and stuff. And then it's basically spring break for Drake students.
I know what it is. I was there. I was there 1 year for it.
We're off the whole week and we just party the whole week and everybody gets sick. The next week there was like a spike in COVID cases. I had it. We all had like separate dorms and stuff. It was crazy. But yeah.
So you liked wearing a mask because it could hide your face?
Yeah, I like wearing a mask because for one, I'm in Iowa. It's cold. So then I would wear a mask and I'd wear a ski mask and I would just walk to class and take it off when I went to class.
Okay.
Like that was like a normal thing. Everybody was wearing like ski mask at Drake because it was so cold out there.
Man, oh man, thinking back to those days.
Like COVID was terrible. Like
yeah, I know.
All of that is terrible. The mask.
It just made me think about that, what they were dealing with over at Villa yesterday. Nobody wants to deal with any of that stuff. That's for sure. Another news headline came out yesterday. St. Louis City Police Chief Robert Tracy is going to remain the city's top cop through the 2028 year. So he has a new 3-year deal that was approved by the St. Louis Board of Commissioners. The police chief makes $183,000 a year in the St. Louis area. And they wanted to bring him back. Mayor Kara Spencer loved it. She thinks he's done a great job. Now, according to the board, they say violent crime is down 42%, but there are other individuals who cover St. Louis area crime and say that statistics hadn't been reported correctly in the past, so you really don't know. They say homicides have dropped 31%. Okay. By the way, the St. Louis Board of Police Commissioners is made up of 6 members, 5 of whom are appointed by Missouri Governor Mike Keogh and St. Louis Mayor Kara Spencer. So a police chief, when their hands are not tied and allowed to do their job, can be a phenomenal resource. A big, big resource. So, we hope the best to see where it goes on. He'll be there. And so they're bringing him back on. They want to keep that trend going and make it even better for the St. Louis area. Okay, another story. This one isn't St. Louis area, but it is interesting. Forgive me. We're all tired of the 6-7 deal. Of course, it is what it is. Somebody even brought it up the other night in an interview. I even say the word 6-7 and producer Riley looks like he's going to throw up.
Yeah, please. No.
In-N-Out Burger, the super, super, super popular chain, has quietly removed the number 6-7 from their ticketing system. They had to remove 6-7 because they said mobs of teenagers have been flooding their restaurants and ordering 6-7. So the story was confirmed with the Los Angeles chain, some of their workers. They said that they had to officially remove the number from its system last month. They didn't issue a public statement. They wanted to keep it quiet. But what they did in social media videos in the last few months, crowds of teenagers will show up at In-N-Out locations. And then when somebody would order it, they would be standing out there and going crazy, mobs of kids. So they said that they told a customer that the restaurant had taken 6-7 out of the system. So now orders skip from 66 to 68.
They're taking it's bad though.
They also had to remove another number that was right there, 69. So, So 69 was removed years ago. Now they've removed 67.
I don't blame them.
They said that every time I would get to the number 66 and then get to the next customer, it would just go to number 68. So when you're standing, what would happen? You're waiting on your order. 65? No, 66?
Oh, no. I know exactly what's about.
67? And then I'm like, they'd be sitting there and it'd be a distraction. So 67 and 69 are no longer allowed on their ordering system.
Just wait till they start learning about 4-1.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I've been hearing some people say.
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Is this a new trend?
I don't think so. I don't think it's going to trend as much as 6-7, but
is this something for kids or not?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's like kids still run around and say that, but it's like rarer.
And by the way, you can jump it on X, Facebook, and YouTube. We're here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. You can call us as well if you want to. I hadn't heard of 4-1. The phone number is 855-282-8255. Appreciate you guys being with us. Okay. Just so stupid. What kind of a society do we live in? The St. Louis County Council, they met last night. And we've got an $81 billion budget deficit. Somehow, some way, the county's been mismanaged to the point where we've got an issue. That's a lot of money. So now there were, there was a little sparring. They were able to agree on the majority of it, but they still haven't figured it out. They haven't gotten exactly to where they need to go. When you make one change or one cut, it affects another area. So right now, they've agreed, but they still haven't come up with everything that they have to for this budget deficit. One thing's for sure is the county council is not going to approve using RAM settlement money to pay off debt. That appears to be the case right now. Mark Carter, county councilman, said that is not only an unsustainable solution, it is a dereliction of duty, his duty, talking about Sam Page as county council or the county executive. That isn't leadership. That's denial. This is a delusion dressed up as a plan, speaking about taking Rams money and paying off debt that they allowed, that they created. So obviously tensions were inflamed, I guess, last night, because at the previous meeting, they said the county executive suggested that the council's adjustments could lead to cuts in police and health budgets. That would result in job losses. So council members pushed back aggressively against those claims, insisting that the county jobs are safe right now. So they went line for line to ensure that those employees that are doing charter statute work are getting their pay raises or increasing their pay range and their salary. So that's not true. Police will not be affected. Those jobs are not being affected. So they said that, so for every employee, this is not for the cameras. This is for the employees of St. Louis County. You are good. And that was coming from Councilwoman Shalonda Webb. Also, according to Councilman Harder, they said the body expects to have the budget ready for passage by next week. They didn't hit the date, but if they can get it, their time's running out. They have to get this done before the end of the year. But I don't know if you think this is interesting. They did agree that they give $10 million for the Convention Recreation Trust Fund. They allow $4 million each year for the opioid remediation fund. They give $159 million for the mass transit fund and more than $43 million for the Spirit of St. Louis Airport and $35 million for the basic transportation fund. So those are some of the situations that they agreed in, but it's becoming a massive issue. And then once you figure out the cuts, you got to figure out a way to take care of that budget deficit. How did you get to that point? Shore it up, make sure we're not in this situation again next year in St. Louis County. That's for sure. Got to figure that out. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Art City now, right here, 6:55. I'm Vic Faust, producer Ryan alongside as well, going through some of those news headlines that we bring you this morning. The other thing that I saw coming down this morning, we talked about was the fact that you have, and we talked about in the first hour, classes. I don't know if Mizzou's ever done this, but Oklahoma and Alabama are canceling classes on the 19th so that they can make sure that people have a chance to get to the football game or travel. If you're from Bama or OU, get to the game. What is the latest that classes are this game's not till 8:00. So I guess late afternoon classes that would affect. I'm just curious from what you had, because because I was in college, I was playing football, so we did all of our classes early because the afternoon was reserved for football. But are classes late in the day? I mean, I'm wondering what time classes go to.
Oh my gosh,
because that wasn't
there's
even
night
that far
classes.
from you.
Yeah, there's night classes. I took one night lab. I dropped it for sure. It was anatomy. It was a 3-hour lab, and it was from 7:00 to like 10.
Wow.
And it was a lab. It wasn't like lecture. No, you had to do stuff. And I was like, my major isn't no science. I'll just take psychology and take the psych lab. It was way easier. So yeah.
Okay.
I was not, but night classes I don't recommend. I never took a night class.
Yeah, no, I'd never had night class either.
Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine taking a night class. All right, to each their own when it comes to that. I just didn't know that those things were still going on, that you could take classes that late, but they're canceling classes so they can watch that football game. Oklahoma hosting Alabama on December 19th as part of the college football playoff series. All right, Sarge City now, guys. I'm Vic Faust. That's the voice of producer Ryan. Glad you're with us. You can jump in on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Like, subscribe, share the show. We'll come back. We got those other stories that we're going to reset when we get back at the top of the hour. Get back into the Blues. The Cardinals kind of get unlucky when it comes to their draft pick. It is one of those things. I'll break down why I think the Chiefs are still going to make the playoffs. I know. I think they're going to do it. I think somehow, some way it's going to happen. I know it may sound crazy, but I just think it's going to happen. We are your Lou Information Station. We are live and on demand at louinfo.com. We'll be back with more of the show right after this. Hey guys, glad you're with us. Good morning. Welcome into Arch City now. It is 7 o'clock. The sun is up in the St. Louis area. We've got you for the next hour. We appreciate you joining us. We're here from 6 to 8 every day. I'm Vic Faust, producer Raya alongside. You can watch us and stream us on X, Facebook, and YouTube. You're also listening on 590 AM, 855-282-8255. Once again, that is 855-282-8255. Hot Take Central 2.0 with the former Blue Cam Jansen and Cardinals broadcaster Jim the Cat Hayes. Follow us today, and of course, they'll have more on the Cardinals news and the Blues news that all came down yesterday that we'll get into here as well in just a second. Hey, from a weather standpoint, it's in the 40s, but the temperatures are going down. Allegedly, it's really windy outside. I don't see anything being windy. I don't see it outside. I see the temperature, and then I see, well, yeah, it feels like it's in the upper 20s, and I'm like, okay, I've been inside, nice warm temperatures at our studios in Kirkwood, the J. Randolph Jr. Studios, right next to Pasta House on Manchester Road. Yeah, temperature says it's like 42 outside, but it feels like 26. I'm assuming that's because of some wind, but we're supposed to have wind outside this morning, keeping things a little bit chillier, blustery, and then the temperatures just go down for the rest of the week. 40 tomorrow, 39 Friday, 28 Saturday, 18 for a high on Sunday. Hello. Welcome into those winter temperatures throughout the St. Louis metro area. Don't look now, but in 2 weeks, it's Christmas Eve. That's right. In 2 weeks, it is here already. Get ready. Get ready. A lot of the Christmas breaks coming up. College kids coming back into town and so forth. If you guys have anything that you want to promote, plan, charity things during this season, how people can help others in need, let us know. We love to promote the charities that we do here all the time. And of course, we appreciate you guys letting us know what's happening in your neck of the woods and anything else that you guys have going on. Stories, schools, people, businesses, bars, restaurants, you name it. That's what we try to focus in on. And of course, make sure you guys are caught up with everything. From a sports standpoint, last night, the Blues lost. They lost to the Bruins. Final score there was 5-2. If you watched it, you knew what happened. If you didn't, the Blues just got off to a good start, power play goal. And then they just kind of got shut down, didn't score again until the third period. They end up losing 5-2. They gave up a shorthanded goal, a empty net goal at the end of the game, but it just wasn't meant to be. They'd had two really good games on the road, really good games against good teams, winning teams. And then they come back home and it's like, one step forward, two steps back. Really want to see him beat Boston last night, not only for their first 3-game winning streak of the season, but also for a chance at getting back to that 500 mark. So they end up losing last night. Joel Hofer was in net, 26 of 30, stopped 26 of 30 shots. Blues are now 11, 13, and 7. And they got the day off. They'll be in Nashville, the only team that's below them in the division right now. They're at Nashville on Thursday night. Somehow, some way, Nashville found a way to beat Colorado last night. There's just so much darn parity in the NHL right now. That's why I was like, not really freaking out about where the Blues are right now. Yeah, do I want to see him win more games? Do I want to see him have a much better record at home? That's the thing that shocks me, is that they haven't been good at home. And that's where you would like them to be. Actually been just, I think, a little bit better on the road. But you want to see him be better at home. So they got to find a way to do that. And they're going to Nashville, who beat Colorado last night. Go figure. Whatever. It is what it is. Then after Thursday night's game in Nashville, we'll see the team come back for a fun Friday night skate with the Blackhawks. That's right. The Blackhawks in town, just a few points ahead of the Blues. Connor Bedard, terrific player. We get another Friday night game. We've had a lot of those in recent times. Friday night game at Enterprise. Chance for the Blues to kick the Blackhawks' butt and just kind of find more of a rhythm with the team. But they got to be better defensively. Just have to be a little bit better defensively. Certainly have all the makings for a team. I could still make a really good run. So Get back on track, Blues. Let's get it done and see what we can do there. Okay. When it comes to the Cardinals, they went in to the ping pong selection, I guess you would call it, activities yesterday, with a chance to have at least the 8th overall pick in the draft. But after it was all said and done, when it came to their odds, instead of picking 8th, the Cardinals fell all the way to 13th. So it's like, really? Really? We sent Ray Langford there to represent the Cardinals yesterday. He said he felt bad. He said he was getting blown up on text messages for being bad luck for the Cardinals. They're going to have the 13th pick in the 2026 Major League Baseball draft. The odds had them at the 8th pick. Instead, they've fallen down to the 13th. So let's see how that ends up turning out for them. Because, you certainly wanted it to be there. But what happened was they have now, it's the second time in 3 seasons that the Cardinals fell below their slot in the odds. So we got to get a little bit better luck with the ping pong calls. Back in 2023, if you remember, we fell from the 5th best odds to the 7th. But guess who we got? J.J. Weatherholt. And I think we're happy with that right now. And then last year, the Cardinals came into the lottery with the 13th best odds at number 1. 13th best odds at number 1. But surged to number 5. And then, of course, that's where we selected the hard-throwing lefty, Liam Doyle. And so far, so good there. And if you look at Weatherholt and Doyle, right now with the organization, they're ranked 1 and 2. Literally ranked 1 and 2 in the organization's prospect rankings. That's per the MLB pipeline. Not too shabby. So maybe this 13th pick will work out for them. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But that's where we were. Hein Blum, director of baseball operations, said, quote, picking 5th last year, the odds weren't for us after having a winning 2024 season. But that's the way to do it because you don't want to have to earn it, he joked. He's like, we ended up with a good outcome with Weatherholt picking 7th. So they're all different ways that it can fall, and that's just the way that it fell right now. So we'll see what's going on with that. Also, when it comes to the Cardinals and where they are, Arenado, Contreras, still the biggest names possibly on the move. But, of course, Brendan Donovan, as you've probably heard, drawn a lot of interest. I mean, literally, near 20 teams. Maybe not quite 20, but near. A source, according to MLB.com, said the Mariners, Royals, Astros, Rays have been the most aggressive suitors. They want them. What are they willing to give up? We will see. Cardinals allegedly being very diligent in this process to make sure that they can get something back. As you may remember, I mean, Donovan was the team's lone all-star in 2026. He does have some value, but if this team is in rebuild, and who knows, I don't know exactly what the Cardinals are right now. I know what they tell us. I know there's not a ton of positivity right there right now, but we'll see. Also, talk about Jojo Romero drawing interest from several teams as well, specifically in the American League. And, he had a good year, 2.07 ERA, and 65 appearances. And he's a free agent after next season. So that'll be interesting. He's been a very good player for the Cardinals as well. So lots to talk about, lots to see where they're going when it comes with these winter meetings. But I don't know. They're going to have to trade. They're going to have to get a new team together. They just don't have a lot right now, and it's going to take some time. And as a Cardinals fan, and for all of us as a city of Cardinal fans, it's like, man, this is our new normal. Our new normal is the word that I used all last season was apathy. And I'm like, baseball meetings have always been super popular in the St. Louis area. And even now, the baseball winter meetings aren't as popular in this area with fans. They just aren't with everything that's going on right now. Wish it was a little bit different, but it's not. And that's reality of what we see happening right now when it comes to the Cardinals and where they are. So we'll see. We'll see where it all goes down, what happens, who's doing what, and so forth with other teams in the winter meetings. At least the Cardinals have a couple pieces that appear to be valuable to other teams. And of course, that's something that we're going to need to see. They're going to have to find a way to do that. Donna on the chat line says, good morning to you guys. Glad that you guys are here. Charlie says, can you believe December is already here? My God, Vic, how time flies. The best to you and the family during the holidays. He says, Merry Christmas. Donna says she hated the mask. My glasses would fog up, so I couldn't see properly. Going back to producer Rye saying he liked mask. He liked hiding behind his mask. I couldn't breathe through that stuff, man.
Oh yeah,
I hated the crap.
Mask on was crazy.
You do realize how stupid that was,
yeah,
right?
That didn't make sense either. I never understood that, and that was
it's
dumb.
Not a good time and making. Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay. Somebody else said, I had night classes in college. Going back, reading the comments. You can jump in and give us your comments at X, Facebook, and YouTube. Once again, X, Facebook, and YouTube. Appreciate you guys jumping into the show as well. We're here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. And of course, we got that going on. Okay. So that's the Cardinals news. We'll see if anything happens today. Of course, we're on it. We'll see all of those things going down. Hey, speaking of baseball, the AP Male Athlete of the Year, producer Rye. Who do you think it is? I gave you the hints already.
Wait, say it again.
The 2025 Male Athlete of the Year. I figured this was going to be an easy one.
Every year I'm always saying LeBron.
Well, I just came out of baseball.
Oh, Shohei.
Yeah. You and your damn LeBron. LeBron ain't sniffed no athlete of the year in decades.
Every year he's athlete of the year.
Oh my
every year.
God, LeBron, give me a.
There's never been a 41-year-old that plays like him. Every year is
okay. Now you're putting stipulations on it.
Every year's athlete of the year is LeBron.
Oh my God.
Keep in mind, Kobe's my favorite player, but he ain't never played till 41.
Well, I'm glad that you at least like Kobe.
Yeah, I'm a Lakers fan, not a LeBron fan, but
okay. I thought you love LeBron.
No, I love LeBron. Like I'm a LeBron. Like I respect LeBron the most out of basketball, but I'm a Kobe fan at heart.
Hey, who is the guy? Real quick before I get to this story about the male athlete of the year. Yes, you were right about Shohei. He is the male athlete of the year. Who is the Charlotte Hornets guard?
Which one?
The white guy.
Oh, Con Kneppel.
No.
Oh.
I thought it was Charlotte. No, the Grizzlies.
Oh, you're talking about Spencer.
Dude, Spencer.
He has a brother, too.
Wait a minute. Is he legit?
Yeah, he's legit. His brother's legit, too. He plays with the Warriors.
If you guys haven't, this is one of the, how many years has he been with the Grizzlies now?
He's been with the Grizzlies for like 2-3 years. He was chirping KD last year in the playoffs, or 2 years ago in the playoffs.
Okay. This guy, I mean, I'm a fair weather NBA fan. Mm-hmm. I told you, I used to love it. I covered it. I covered the Pistons for several years. I love the NBA. I can't stand the NBA game now. I've explained it to you why. And I don't want to bore our listeners. I don't like the NBA game now. I would never want to be on a court with those guys, so I don't want to call them soft. I'm just going to say the game is a lot more soft than what it was.
Yeah, it's more theatrical than it used to be.
I just covered it at a different time.
Yeah, you covered it when power forwards did hook shots. So, I'm being honest.
No, they hit the boards.
Yeah, they hit the boards.
They didn't want to just step on it.
Stuff and shot short.
Use the glass.
Kenyon Martin shooting mid-range jump shot after jump shot. Like
no, but if you guys haven't, I mean, and I know sometimes I'm late to the party, but I will arrive. I had no idea until the last 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, that Spencer was the number one lacrosse player in the country
No, his
at one
brother
point.
was. He has a brother in the NBA too.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he has a
Okay.
brother. That's
Now imagine,
That's
okay,
Pat.
I know we're in St. Louis, but this is a story that I think transcends.
yeah. Pat played lacrosse. Yeah.
So Pat
Okay.
Spencer
Yes.
won the Heisman of lacrosse.
Yeah, he was supposed to be like the goat of. He's like the.
But
goat
I
of
thought
lacrosse.
but he gave up
Yeah, he gave
lacrosse
up to go play basketball.
and he's now a good player in the NBA.
Yeah, Pat Spencer's on the Warriors.
That's one of the most incredible stories to me I've ever heard when it comes to sports.
Yeah, it's crazy. He's 29 too.
Okay, so he literally is the best lacrosse player in America. Yeah, I'm going to go to Northwestern. Plays guard at Northwestern. Then he plays in Europe for 4 or 5 years?
Yeah.
Develops his game, comes back. Oh, and yeah, now is he a starter?
Yes, I think both brothers are starting right now.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
hello.
crazy.
So I just heard that this way. I just thought it was a phenomenal story.
Yeah, he's a lacrosse record holder.
Yeah, dude, he literally won the Heisman for lacrosse, the best. And I know that St. Louis is still learning the game of lacrosse,
Facts.
and I love it. My son, he was born in Detroit. A lot of the kids in the Michigan area, Northeast, they don't play baseball in the spring.
They play lacrosse.
They play lacrosse because it is a perfect sport for football. Because what do? You run and you hit. And people don't realize the physicality in lacrosse. You hit.
Yeah, I had a guy who was.
And lacrosse will change when we get some more, let's just say, athleticism into the sport.
I had a guy who played lacrosse.
And it's awesome,
team.
but we need some more athleticism.
We had a guy that played basketball on my team who played lacrosse. He went to I think he goes to Dubuque now and played there, right? And when I tell you in the trenches of battling for rebounds, he used to push.
No, I hear you.
I was like, I like playing with him.
Well, and this is the thing. So my son was introduced to lacrosse early. There's good baseball players in Michigan, but kids love lacrosse. The best second sport, although things are changing from a football standpoint because of NIL screwing up. College coaches will literally tell you they don't want you playing multiple sports anymore. They don't. We've heard it.
Mm-hmm.
Unless maybe it's track. But I'm always like, have you come out and watched lacrosse games? Watch. Because the kids in the north and the kids in the east are playing lacrosse, not baseball in the spring. So when I saw that this guy was the number one lacrosse player in America, he's like, yeah, I'm going to go try basketball. Are you kidding me? And now he's a starting guard for an NBA team?
That's why I love basketball, man.
You do see how crazy that story is.
Oh, yeah. That's so cool. That's why I love basketball. You can really play a lot of different sports and then just come to basketball and have that natural just.
But my point was, as great as you have to be from a lacrosse athlete to even play in college, the quickness, the toughness, and all of that, there is no comparisons for lacrosse and shooting a basketball. There are zero. And isn't that his best? Isn't that his best asset? Shooting.
When I tell you he's everything, like this dude does anything that the team wants him to do. He dives on the floor.
Well, yeah, I get that from lacrosse, but there's no shooting.
He can shoot.
Spacing,
he can shoot his butt off.
quickness. Yeah. You get that with lacrosse. You do. But you can't hit.
Yeah, he's shooting 44% from 3 right now.
I just, it blew my mind. I literally am like, and then I'm like, what? How the hell do you go from being the best lacrosse player in America to making it in the NBA? Unfreaking believable.
And then playing the same amount as your brother who's been playing in the NBA.
And I didn't even know he had a brother that was playing in the NBA too.
Yeah.
What a damn athletic family they are, I guess.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's just fun to talk about. You see some of those things going on. And obviously in the St. Louis area, and I don't think it's going to change, I love baseball. But in this area, still you have tons of kids who are playing baseball. Tons of kids. And I hope they continue to play baseball because I love the sport. So there were a couple different parallel conversations going on. You play football, you play baseball. But I'm telling you, because my son had been going through this recruiting process, these coaches could care less whether he was playing lacrosse. And some said that they thought it might have hurt him because he couldn't be as football specific and running track. They wanted him to run track more so.
Well, no, man.
And if you're playing baseball, it's like,
Yeah. What are
not
you doing?
even, no. It's just because there's so much money. And this is, I know I was talking about a couple different things.
Yeah.
With being athletic in lacrosse and being able to make the jump into other sports, and playing baseball, which I hope kids still continue to do. But now, heck, Jim the Cat Hayes just walked around. The baseball players, you're playing year round. And I just find it fascinating how all of this stuff is working out with kids through the St. Louis area, other sports, the time spent. Is it making sense? Is it working out? We need to do a research study on the families that have put all the time into kids, and then the colleges now in the last, who have gone to college or had a chance in the last 3 years. Look at the last 8 years of your life and what you've done, what you've put in. Because when you're in it and you're taking your kids everywhere to all the events in St. Louis or out of state, you're all into it. And you want to do it for your kids, and you're spending money and you're spending time. What is the end game? What's the end goal? And that's for all sports, girls, boys, and sports are an incredible thing. I love it. I absolutely do. But I look back at some of the things that we did and the money that we spent, and I'm like, well, that was silly. But you do it for your kids, and you're like, hey, can this give them a shot? And then money in the NIL in college has changed everything, both positive and negative.
Yeah.
And we're starting to see all that stuff now.
Is there a lot of money in lacrosse?
No.
That's what I'm saying. So
here's, you know what there are?
I think that's another reason why a lot of people don't play it too.
There's scholarships all over the place in college. There are lots of scholarships. Are they full scholarships? No. But what's ironic, there are so many really good schools, though. They're good academic schools. A lot of the end game there is you go to lacrosse and you get scholarships, or you get into extremely good academic schools, and it helps you, and contacts, and it helps you from that standpoint, not only just for maybe a couple year professional run if you had that, but contacts, businesses, money from that standpoint, that you can get for your career. Now,
just going to play
the professional lacrosse league is doing well. It's growing, and they're getting contracts, and they're getting more on TV, but it's not like the major four pro sports, not at all. But there are people who are making money doing it.
Yeah, that's my thing. I wonder if he would have been making more money playing lacrosse than being a role player in the NBA.
No, not even close.
And the great thing is he's on a two-way, so he still has a side hustle job too.
Yeah, no, not even close. Because in the NBA, how many years does he have with the NBA? Does he have 2, 3?
He's on a two-way, so I'm pretty sure he still has he's 2 or 3 years in, because he can go back to the Santa Cruz Warriors if
he's making money playing. And now the advertising and everything else that he's got, it's fascinating to me where all this is going. Very, very fascinating. But I mean, to think that you're a freaking lacrosse player, why wouldn't the NBA be hyping him up more? They should be hyping him up more. That's a terrific story.
Yeah, they give him some screen time and everything, but it's kind of he's kind of under the radar.
Yes.
He just doesn't really.
But is he okay? He starts.
He starts because Curry's out right now.
Okay.
Yeah, Curry's hurt. That's why he's starting. But,
all right.
But he's just doing good. He had 19 points in the first game, and then 11 but 1.
Jeremy Lin all over.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
I mean, come on. He was a lacrosse player in college, says I'm going to give basketball a shot. Plays 1 year at Northwestern, goes across seas, and now he's starting in the NBA. Yeah, freaking incredible. What a story.
That's a crazy doc.
Without a doubt.
A movie.
All right. Art City now here. We'll take it to 8 o'clock. I'm Vic Faust. That's producer Ryan there helping teach me a little bit about the NBA and some of the other information that's going on. We cover everything here in the mornings, get you up and out the door. Thanks so much for being with you. This is all about St. Louis. We love it. We try to promote the best that we can. Jumping on the show if you want to. And, of course, follow us on X, Facebook, and YouTube. That's where you can stream us. And, of course, we're on 590. We are your Lou Information Station. We are live and on demand at louinfo.com. I promise, I know we've gotten into all kinds of things. I'm going to break down why the Chiefs are going to the playoffs. That's right. That's why the Chiefs are still going to the playoffs when we come back. St. Hey guys, happy Wednesday, happy hump day, December 10th. We're getting up and at it on a cold, I guess supposed to be windy Wednesday morning. Feels like it's still in the 20s. Get a little warmer today, and then of course the cold temperatures settle in over the St. Louis area. I said it earlier, don't look now, but yeah, in 2 weeks it's Christmas Eve. I mean, literally, that's where we are right now as we come into the holiday season and we end 2025. As we joke about, just seems like things are going by way fast, super fast, that's for sure. We try to be all St. Louis all the time, jumping on the show, X, Facebook, YouTube. Appreciate you guys being with us. And of course you can jump in, get your comments in, we'll talk about it, see what you guys have going on. Love to promote the St. Louis aspect of all things. Let us know if there's anything that we need to be talking about, bringing notoriety to anybody, trying to keep it as positive as possible. And of course, when it comes to being as positive as possible, that's my next take when it comes to the Kansas City Chiefs, because we know this is St. Louis Chiefs area. Whether you like it or not, and I'm not a Chiefs fan, and I'm not against the Chiefs. I just, everywhere I go, there's no doubt that this is Chiefs area. I hate it being a former Cardinals football fan and being a Rams fan. I hate it that we do not have our own team. So anyway, the Chiefs are it. It is part of it. All right. Rye, I ask you right now, at 6-7, are the Chiefs going to the playoffs?
No, sir.
Okay. And I think that would probably be the sentiment of most people, especially after we saw them score, 10 points the other night? Is that what they scored? 10 points, something like that against the Texans?
Yeah, I think they're just fatigued of playing deep playoff runs.
Could happen.
Genuinely.
And that's what happens. Well, we put up that graphic right there. That's the graphic that I see the season ending. Okay, there are 3 teams fighting for 2 spots. The Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Colts. Now, I'm not trying to freak people out. This is how I see the season ending right here. I see the Chiefs finishing at 10-7. I see the Chargers finishing at 10-7. And I see the Colts finishing at 8-9. Those are not their records right now, obviously. However, that's how I do see this happening, because right now, I mean, at the end of this, let's see if I make this point for you. You see the Colts and Chargers getting in, not the Chiefs and Chargers.
You know what? After seeing this graphic,
because
I got to look at the other standings, because I don't
no,
know.
this is where it's going to fall down to. Literally, this is how it's going to break down, because right now you've got also, and if they finish 10-7, because the only other standings, the only people you have to look at right now are maybe like Baltimore, the Ravens.
What about the Texans?
Hold on a second. Let me break this down. Because the Texans, from their standpoint, let me go back here to the standings. When you do the standings and the expanded look, the Texans right now are 8-5.
Yeah.
So the Chiefs are 6-7.
Mm-hmm.
And when I break this down and I look at what's happening, and you look at the records and what they have, the Texans just beat the Chiefs, so they would have
the tie.
They would have the tie. Then you look at who the Texans have to play, and let me make sure that I didn't screw this up from that standpoint. The Texans are at the Chargers. Or excuse me, they're at the Cardinals. That's a win.
Mm-hmm.
But it's for the final playoff spot. They wouldn't matter.
Why wouldn't they?
Because what you have, hold on a second, because the Texans are already the Texans are going to probably, when you look at their schedule, they're going to win 3 of 4. You would think they'd win at least 3 and 4. So they'd get one of those playoff spots.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the picture. I'm like, because now they're in the wild card. They're in that 7th spot.
Who's in the 7th spot?
The Texans.
The last spot?
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Maybe I did that wrong, but I didn't think that would work out that way.
Because both the Colts and Texans are 8-5. The Texans have the tiebreaker, and
the Colts will not be there.
Yeah, they won't be there. They're out.
I'm telling you, the Chiefs are going to finish 10-7.
And I think the Texans are finishing at least with 11 wins.
Well, and if they do, then they get the spot, because you have right now, under this scenario.
I wish I could pull up.
I could
actually take a screenshot.
Yeah, dude, the Colts, I think the Colts are going to finish 8-9. I think the Chiefs are going to finish 10-7, and I think the Chargers are going to finish 10-7.
Oh, I can share my screen.
And then you see this because I think the Chiefs are going to beat the Chargers this week at Arrowhead. I do. I think they're going to go on the road and they're going to beat the Titans. And then I think they're going to beat the Broncos at home too. And then they play the Raiders. I think they're going to win their 2 home games. And I think they're going to win their 2 road games. And they're going to finish 10-7. And if they do that, and then I see the Colts are going to lose to the Seahawks. The Colts are going to lose to the 49ers.
But this is what I was saying, though.
And when you break that down, that's what you're going to have.
But this is what I was saying. When I just pulled it up. This is the playoff picture right now.
Okay.
And you got Broncos, Patriots, Jags, Steelers, Chargers, Bills.
Because the Steelers are going to win their division.
Yeah, Steelers are going to be in.
The Jags right now, we don't know exactly
Yeah.
where they would be from that standpoint. The Bills would be in under that. Then you look at the bubble and you scroll down.
Yeah. Bubble is all types of teams.
No, if you go down,
Yeah,
just continue. If you go down, does it scroll down? Okay.
It's a little delayed.
Because then you see the Ravens are the Colts will not be there.
Yeah, they're not.
I think the Chiefs are going to finish 10-7, but scroll back up. If you can scroll back up, where are the Chargers?
They're at 5.
Yeah. Well, I think the Chiefs would win the tiebreaker.
Oh.
That's where it is.
Okay. Okay, now it's making sense. I get what you're saying. Yeah, I can see that for sure.
10-7.
So the Chargers are just going to be out on the outskirts again.
And maybe I'm no guarantee, but I'm telling you, I see the Chiefs at 10-7 getting in.
I think the Jags are flaky too.
They're a flaky team. That's a great way to explain it.
I think that's what they play the Jets though this week. So yeah. Well,
they would get in. They would have that under that scenario. I just see that I can see it happen. Don't sleep on the Chiefs yet, is what I'm saying. Do not sleep on the Chiefs yet. It is not over. Arch City now. So that's producer Rye. I'm Vic Faust. So Chiefs fans, get excited, be happy. I do. I think they're going to win 4 games. I do. I cannot until I see them not breathing. I'm going to believe they're breathing because
they got to say that
because
for you to be done. They have to say that E.
I guess that's eliminated.
Yeah,
eliminated. Done. Gonzo. History. Hey guys, Blues lost last night 5-2. They're back in action tomorrow night at Nashville. They'll come back home to St. Louis on Friday. They're 11-13-7. They're still at the bottom of the division, but everything's tight. That's tight. It's tight. And that's the good thing because of the parity that we have in the league right now. But they've got a Friday night skate at Enterprise again with the Blackhawks, kind of Bedard. Let's go Blues. Get it back together. Last night, just not a good night. They'd had two really good games on the road, but they got to find a way to be better at home. Now it's like, okay, how do we do better at home? How do we give ourselves more of a home ice advantage, especially with the terrific crowd and the terrific fans that we have throughout the St. Louis area? That's for sure. We've got to find a way to make that happen. One other thing that we didn't, it's a big story, but we hadn't talked about yet today, is a Friday night soccer game. SLU and North Carolina State playing in the College Cup out in North Carolina. It's a 7:30 p.m. start. The game is on ESPNU. SLU with a chance, every bit of a chance, to beat NC State to advance to the championship game, which is scheduled for December 15th. What a cool story this has been in the St. Louis area, too. And they've got some St. Louis area kids on their team as well. This isn't just a team made up of kids from other countries or other states. They've got some area kids on that team as well. Love to see that. Love to hear it. And of course, if St. Louis could get something done and advance to the championship, I don't want to get ahead of myself because they've already pulled off some upsets or what would be considered upsets, maybe not to them. And coming back from being down 2-0 in their last game to scoring 3 unanswered goals in the second half has been nothing but amazing to watch. So Congrats to the team for making it this far. Now we want more. We want more. It's like, come on, let's go, Slew. So once again, that's Friday night. Look forward to watching what can happen there. I talked about it a little bit earlier. The Cardinals will take the 13th pick in the 2026 Major League Baseball draft. Heinblum's first pick. We'll see where that goes. What kind of picks they can get from that standpoint. Also, if there's any activity, winter trades, things from that standpoint, Contreras, Arenado, Donovan, all up for opportunities from that standpoint. Okay, something else I want to get into here. We all know the whole thing with Notre Dame and not playing their bowl game. The one thing that Eli Drinkwitz does is he talks. And this is the one thing I love about him. He gives, whether you agree with him or not, whether you think he's won anything or not, whether you think he should even be talking or doing these podcast interviews that people ask him to do, is he gives educated opinion. It's his opinion and he backs it. All of us have our opinions. What do you back it with? Do you back it with anything? Do you explain anything? I love that about Eli. He gives opinions and then he backs it and he sticks with it. And whether you like it or not, he makes some valid points. He was asked about Notre Dame turning down their bowl game. I could care less whether they turn down a bowl game or not. I mean, I really don't care. Whatever. Allegedly, the players voted they didn't want to do it. Okay. Sometimes younger people will make, even older people will make decisions and emotion is there and be impulsive. They won't have a chance, many of them, to put a football uniform on again. Maybe the seniors don't care. Maybe they're opting out, whatever. But Eli was asked about it. And he said he was confused by it. He says, quote, people say anytime, anywhere. I guess some people mean it and some people don't. So I thought that was very interesting. I mean, he's saying that Notre Dame will say they'll play, but they're really not interested. He said that on the Outkick show with Dan Dakich, FC Dan's stuff out there. He's like, for us, talking about Mizzou, we've got an opportunity to go play in a bowl game. I'm fired up about the opportunity. So, I mean, it was a clear message to Notre Dame after they declined their bowl opportunity. Notre Dame was not the only team to decline a postseason chance, but the other schools were going through coaching changes or finished below 500. So that's the difference in the teams who declined games. You can't just say, well, all these teams declined. Well, they did decline, but it was for other reasons, not for just being upset. And trust me, Missouri fans remember we got screwed over in 2007 with the Orange Bowl. So this isn't the first time that this has happened for bowls, and it's not going to be the last time. But Eli Drinkwitz asked about it. He is a good quotester. Whether you like him or not, he's going to give you his opinion, and he's going to talk about things that are going on in the college football situation, where we are, what's happening, and so forth. Some other headlines that we were talking about today, just to make sure that we're wrapping things up today. Well, we talked about it with, I asked you the male athlete, AP, male athlete of the year. You got it when I told you from baseball, Shohei Ohtani. I guess there's really no surprise there, right? I mean, not even your LeBron James from 20 years ago could be brought in. So Shohei Ohtani, this is the fourth time he's won already. He's still a young guy.
That's what I'm saying. He has a lot, man.
It's his fourth time being honored as the AP Male Athlete of the Year. It ties him with,
you know who,
Unc LeBron James.
Yep. Coolest Unc.
Tiger Woods.
Okay. All right.
And Lance Armstrong, but Lance is, it's hard to, now that you know everything that was going on with Lance, he had to ride a bike. Yeah, he had to go through the horrible stuff that he did battling back from cancer. But when it's cheating, it's not the same. It's just not the same. So anyway, he's tied him with LeBron and Tiger Woods. I wouldn't be surprised if he wins another one. of course, he was phenomenal. Led the Dodgers to a World Series, hit a career high 55 home runs, won his fourth MVP, which was crazy as well. So other top contenders were Messi and Djokovic. They were also contenders for the award. But Shohei, what he did this year was just phenomenal. And when I saw him, strike out 10 and hit, 3 home runs in the same game, I was like, I will never see this. I don't know if he could ever do that again. Only he could do that again. I'm just not sure if we'll ever see it again in our lifetimes. Unfreaking believable. He's only, I was looking for his age. I mean, he still seems so young to me. So young. I was looking for it really quick because is he even, oh, he's only 31 years old. Wow. Look at all he's accomplished and what he could still do too. So one of the greatest athletes we've seen, 6'4", what is he, 210, 215, 220?
Yeah, he's a monster.
Fast,
yeah.
Pitches, hits, does everything. It's like, okay, wow, getting all that stuff done. Guys, as always, we're here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. Love it when you guys jump in on the show, talk with us about things that are happening in the area. You guys got plans coming up this week. Obviously, there's the things that come in and happen, but just be ready for some construction. Expected to close some lanes if you're driving through the region, not only for MoDOT, but IDOT as well. Lane closures are scheduled on eastbound I-64 over the Poplar Street Bridge for some deck repairs. That's going to be an issue. So that's going to be from Sunday night until 7 a.m. Tuesday morning. And if you're driving in that way, and if you've been through that before, that's an issue, and it's going to be a problem. Also, in addition to some of the other work that's happening right now, a significant closure at I-55 at Gravois in St. Louis. That closure is planned for this coming up Saturday from 5 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. So hopefully that won't affect too many people that are trying to go through that area. But those are some closures, some things that are happening from that standpoint. Another thing, update when it comes to Mizzou basketball. They have another game tomorrow night, Alabama State. But one of the reasons why I think people and sports fanatics are not as frustrated with Dennis Gates sometimes as I can be with what's happened with the basketball program is because of a kid that's coming in next year, arguably one of the best players in America, Jason Crow Jr. He has now become already, I mean, his senior season's still going on. I mean, basketball just began. He has already become the all-time leading scorer in the state of California. Already, all-time. The number 1 point scorer in California. I'm like, what? Already? What? So, Jason Crow Jr. coming, and Mizzou got it, and Mizzou fans got a chance to see him a couple of weeks ago. He put 44 up last week in Columbia. So, this guy looks legit. If they only get him for a year, they get him for a year, or whatever the case may be. But maybe that's the savior of Missouri basketball for a year or not, because right now we know we're struggling a little bit, not being able to beat the teams that look like tournament teams. Have you heard of this kid? Have you had a chance to learn?
I haven't been tapped in, but
yeah, Mizzou has arguably one of the top 3 classes.
Yeah, I know they have a good
for 2026 that's coming in. So there's a lot of hype, a lot of hope.
Yeah, you and Charlie were agreeing on something yesterday.
Who is that? You and who?
You and Charlie.
I'll never agree with him on stuff.
Yeah, you guys agreed on Dennis Gates.
Oh, thank God I found somebody.
Yeah, he said the same thing.
Really?
Like, man,
that's what we're going to agree
he's been
on.
Here for 4 years, man. He hasn't done anything.
Well,
worse than drink.
I'll say drinks. I won't use it as a negative, but I think drinks done a whole lot more at putting a program on the map. And yeah, thankfully, that's what my whole deal was. It's like, wait a second, we're in our 4th year. We need to see something more. It's about results. That's good. Guys, we appreciate you jumping in with us today. I was wanting to make sure we had the other stuff that we covered there. We have fun here, making sure it happens. So Jason Crow Jr., coming into Mizzou basketball next year. That's and they've got 2 other kids that are top-notch 5-star kids. I mean, they've got to have something. They do. And even if it's all for just 1 year, but you see other programs. I mean, I know it's Duke, but look at Duke this year. Duke looks really good again after losing everybody that they had last year. So things are possible. And of course, we love it when you guys join us every day. By the way, we are your Lou Information Station. We're here Monday through Friday. We are live and on demand at louinfo.com. Obviously, Hot Take Central 2.0 is coming up from 8 to 10. The MIZ STL show, from 10 to 11 with Grant Salzman today. Talk about Jason Crow Jr. maybe, and Mizzou, and Dennis Gates, and Eli Drinkwitz calling out Notre Dame, only because he was asked about it. And then, of course, the aforementioned Charlie Tuna and the Posse coming up today from 11 to 1 o'clock. For the other shows and content that we have later in the afternoon and throughout the week, once again, you go to louinfo.com. All right, it's getting colder again. Get ready for it. Hope you guys have a great day. Once again, Christmas Eve in 2 weeks. That's right. The end of the year is coming up, and it's coming up really, really fast. We appreciate you guys being with us today. Blues off today, back in action tomorrow night. They're in Nashville and then back home Friday. So if you want to watch some Blues action, they'll be back at Enterprise coming up on Friday for you from that standpoint. Okay, guys, that does it for us as always. Have a wonderful day. Stay positive. And, of course, we'll catch you bright and early, 6 a.m. tomorrow, Thursday, December 11th. Thanks for spending some time with us. Thanks for jumping in on X, Facebook, and YouTube, where you can always catch us as well. Have a great day. For producer Ryan, I'm Vic Faust. Hot Take Central 2.0 is coming up next.
Hey, everyone. Cam Jansen